Hello, and welcome to the MMA Mic Drop Podcast. My name is Jade Bunky, and I'm joined by the one and only Milo McGregor, who is not only one of the nation's top up-and-coming amateur surfers, but also an emerging MMA analyst. In today's episode, we are going to break down every single fight on the Whittaker versus Aliskerov fight card going down in Saudi Arabia. We are super excited about this card. It is absolutely stacked. I mean, it is a fight night card, and it is about as big as it gets for a free card. Milo, how would you rate this card if we're just to give it a pre-grade, given that we had somebody drop off?
Yeah, I would have given it an A plus with Khamzat, but since he dropped off and Ikram went in, I'm gonna give it an A minus. But still, it's an amazing fight night.
Yeah, and what fight are you most excited to watch on this?
I think the Sergei Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov one would be a pretty interesting fight, but I think they're all gonna be actually really interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? I would give it an A plus because if I'm grading this on the scale of a fight night card on a free card, this even without Khamzat Chimaev, this card is so stacked. I mean, you look at there's fights on the prelim that are might even be pay-per-view worthy. This is I'm actually more excited about this card than I was for UFC 302 and UFC 301. I'm pretty pumped on this. Yes, I would like to have seen Khamzat Chimaev fight Robert Whittaker, but I think the UFC has done a great job, still finding an interesting replacement, although it's going to be a massive step up in competition. So let's get into it. Oh, but let me say first, if you're just watching, you can see Milo got a haircut. I think it looks terrible. He just shaved it all off. I don't know why. We'll talk about that a little more in the Kicking It with Milo segment later in the show. Probably get the hair out of your eyes when you're surfing.
Yeah,
I know.
aerodynamic.
What's that? You're more
aerodynamic.
Yeah, there you go. Looking for every advantage in competitive surfing, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so first up, I mean, it's Robert Whittaker versus Ikram Aliskerov. Milo, tell me who you got in this fight. This is a great main event.
I think it's gonna be a really big step up in competition for Ikram, but he could get it done. His only loss is to Khamzat Chimaev, so that's a really good loss to have. And Robert Whittaker he's all around a really good fighter. I think he's gonna outclass him.
And so, do you have him by decision or finish?
I think it's gonna go to decision.
Okay, so I like how you use the word outclass because that's exactly what I was thinking. Look, Ikram hits hard, and he can finish the fight at any given moment. He can also finish it on the ground, right? But this is a massive step up in competition. Robert Whittaker is probably the third greatest middleweight of all time behind Anderson Silva and Israel Adesanya. And having to go against him on short notice, and granted, he was already training for a fight, but just having a new opponent ahead of him, that's as dynamic as Robert Whittaker, who's just so good, basically everywhere. I know he does like to box a lot, and he has really good foot movement. He has really nice jabs, good kicks. I mean, he's just an all around good fighter. I mean, a great fighter, if you will. And part of me thinks, hey, look, Ikram, I mean, when you throw the right punch at the right time, anything can happen. But I'm with you. I think Robert Whittaker is going to outclass him. I'm picking Robert Whittaker by decision. All right, so let me look. Next up, Sergei Pavlovich versus Volkov. I think this is an incredible fight. You just said this is the one for which you're looking forward the most. Tell me how you think it's going to go down.
I think Sergey's the second best heavyweight right now. So I think he's just gonna knock him out.
Who's the first?
Tom Aspinall.
I agree with you. That's right. Tom Aspinall. Yeah.
I think he's just gonna knock him out like the first or second round. So yeah.
So let's pick one. You first or second round. What do you have?
Probably second round. That's safe.
So Sergei Pavlovich, I agree with you. I think he is the second best heavyweight in the world, and that's behind Tom Aspinall. And I think if he fought John Jones, I think he would finish John Jones. But we don't know. John Jones hasn't really, just wants to fight an old guy in terms of Stipe. So we don't know. But if you look at his record, Sergei Pavlovich has only 2 losses. His first fight against Overeem and his last fight against Aspinall. Right? That's it. Everybody else, he's knocked out, except I believe one fight went to a decision. But every fight he's finished in the first round. This guy hits so hard. When he hits you, he puts you out, and I think he's going to do that to Volkov. I mean, look, Volkov is a massive dude. He's what, 6'7", 263. I mean, he's obviously really good at range. But we did see Tom Aspinall finish him, very quickly. But Tom Aspinall is a different beast, but he finished him via submission. I think Volkov is where he should be in the rankings. I believe he's number 7, and that's exactly where he is. He hasn't beat the really top end guys, but he's handled pretty much everybody else outside of the top 5. He's handled pretty easily. But I think Sergei hits way too hard. And while I think he can land some punches against Sergei, I think once Sergei lands clean, that's going to be enough. Give me Sergei Pavlovich by first round. I'm going to go first round knockout. All right. Yeah. Okay. So next up, we have Kelvin Gastelum versus Daniel Rodriguez. So it's interesting when we look at Kelvin Gastelum. This guy has fought everybody. And it's interesting when you think about the guys Robert Whittaker's fought as a former champion. He's fought everybody. I would say overall, Gastelum has had even the tougher schedule, given he's had so many more fights, and he's had let me just check his record real quickly. He's had he's had more fights against the highest of the. I'm kind of butchering what I'm trying to say, but he's had more fights against really top-notch competition. He doesn't take any time off. I think it was like his fight against Chris Curtis was the first time he wasn't fighting like, a top 5, top 7 guy in so long. I mean, he's always fighting the best of the best. And, so he's had some mixed results. Now, what we saw against Brady in his last fight, he was completely controlled. And so I'm starting to wonder, is the sport starting to pass him up? He's only 32 years old. And can you check his age? Is he 32? I'm trying to bring something else up here. I think he's 32. I mean, he's just been in the sport forever. He seems like he's, so much older than he is, and strength of schedule. That was the phrase for which I was searching moments ago. It's the strength of schedule is second to none. And then you look at Daniel Rodriguez. I mean, Daniel Rodriguez hits hard, right? I mean, he can put you out. He has more of a boxing approach. And the problem, though, is he's 37. He's coming off 2 losses. Ian Machado Gary, which, hey, Ian Machado Gary's, looking like a top 5 welterweight. No shame in that loss there. But he had a loss against Neil Magny before that. And I think he's just starting to slip a little bit. I wish Daniel Rodriguez came into the UFC much earlier in his career, because I think he could have, possibly made a run. I'm going to take Kelvin Gastelum by decision. Who do you have?
I think I'm gonna go Daniel Rodriguez by knockout. I think in the third round.
You're done. Okay, third round. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So who do we have next? I'm on a different site now. So you have the most accurate order, correct?
Yeah. Magomed Naimov versus Melsik Baghdasaryan.
That's not bad. So if you're watching this for the first time, or if you've watched this before, Milo's good at picking fights. He's absolutely terrible at pronouncing names. That's not too bad. And we are going to throw a couple names up later to see how well he does. Naimov, I don't even know if I can do much better, but Melsik Baghdasaryan, I think both are solid fighters. I like Baghdasaryan. I think he's got a really incredible kickboxing pedigree. I think this fight's gonna stay on the feet. I think there'll be some fun exchanges. I do expect Baghdasaryan to get the win by decision. Who do you have?
I agree. I think I'm gonna go Baghdasaryan, but by second round TKO.
All right, you have it. All right, next up we have Johnny Walker versus Volkan Oezdemir. Milo, who do you like in this fight?
I mean, I like Johnny Walker, but Volkan's a really good fighter, so I'm not 100% sure.
I know Johnny Walker's one of your favorite fighters, huh?
Yeah, I like watching him. I mean, I hope he wins, but um, I think I'm gonna take Volkan by second round TKO.
Wow. Okay. I'm actually going with Johnny Walker. I think Johnny Walker's going to get it done. I mean, he has mixed results. He has crazy athleticism. He has a pretty crazy skill set. He has pretty poor fight IQ at times. And he used to just be really reckless, right? And then you saw for the first time against Thiago Santos, he tried to rein it in a bit, but he reined it in a little too much, And I think in his last fight against Magomed Ankalaev, I just think Ankalaev is just better, right? And he's probably going to fight for the title next. He's probably going to fight the winner of Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. So, I think Johnny Walker still has some incredible upside, even though he's, has gone back and forth. And I think he's more dangerous. I really want to see him really find his groove. And what I mean by that is find the right pace, right? Don't be necessarily a wild man, but don't rein it in too much. He's a freakish athlete with incredible size for the division. I mean, utilize that. So give me Johnny Walker by third round TKO. All right. Next up, Milo. Who's is this opening the prelims?
Prelims.
All right. Who's opening it?
Shara Magomedov versus Joilton Lutterbach.
That's actually not bad. I'm somewhat impressed. I like how you just used Shara Bullet's nickname for his first name instead of trying to pronounce that. That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
You do the same thing. I don't know if I can pronounce that, but it's Joilton Lutterbach, and this is a great fight. I am pretty pumped on this. This is actually I'm probably most pumped on this fight on the prelims. This one, and there's one more that I'm really amped on, but Shara Bullet looks amazing. Now, he hasn't fought good competition yet, but he has a remarkable raw a skill set, and it's going to be fun to see how good he performs against high-level UFC fighters. I mean, he won it in his debut. He's explosive. He's dangerous. He's fun to watch. I'm extremely excited about this. He's undefeated. I mean, he's 12-0. He's never tasted defeat, right? So that's interesting. Now you look at Lutterbach, and he's 38-9, and you think, okay, well, God, he has a lot of losses, and he does. He has fought a lot of really high-level competition. He has some good wins. You got to look at some of his losses in different promotions. One was against Sedriques Dumas, the current middleweight champ. He's lost to Alex Oliveira, but he's also beat Alex Oliveira as well in another promotion. He has some good experience. I think he's dangerous. I think he's good. But I'm all in on Shara Bullet. Honestly, I don't know how good he's going to be when he really hits that top-notch competition. But I think I'm really excited to watch him fight again. I think the crowd's going to be pumped up on this as well. And give me Shara Bullet, second round TKO. What do you say?
I agree. I think Shara Bullet's going to get it done. I think maybe by third round TKO.
Third round TKO. All right, we agree. All right, who do you have next?
Next we have Nasrat Haqparast versus Jared Gordon.
All right, not too bad on Nasrat's name pronunciation. This is, Jared Gordon fights are not really that interesting. And I know he's had a little bit of bad luck. He had the fight against Paddy Pimblett, which, a lot of people thought he won, but he ended up getting the loss. Then he had, the issue with Bobby Green and so forth. Haqparast is a pretty good fighter. I don't see crazy upside for him, but he's got some fast hands. He is good. He is, a solid athlete. I'm taking Haqparast by third round TKO. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go Jared Gordon by decision.
Interesting. Why? Why do you think that?
This is kind of not interesting. Kind of slow fighter. So a lot of his fights go to decision.
So your rationale is he is so uninteresting, he'll just eke out a decision because there's no other way this boring fight could go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now he has 10 knockouts actually, but
does he actually have
6 decisions?
Let me actually.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm surprised by that. And 7 first round finishes.
Wait, no, he has
Okay, maybe
he has 7 TKOs.
no,
Jared,
10.
no, yeah,
Jared. Oh wait, no. Oops, you're right. You're right.
yeah.
My bad.
So you still think he's going to get it done? Oh, you just said decision.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else with him?
No.
Just ready to talk about a different fight. Yeah, this is one of the two
Yeah.
fights that I'm not really excited about. But hey, this is on the prelims. The prelims are so stacked. I mean, it's a good filler fight.
Yeah.
Nasrat's a good fighter, right? So I mean, this is actually a pretty good fight. It's just Jared Gordon fights typically tend to be somewhat boring. All right, here we go. This is your big first pronunciation test of the night.
Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Nicolas Dalby.
That is absolutely
wasn't even that bad.
Terrible. So Rinat, you got that. That was pretty close. Fakhretdinov, and I probably didn't do that as well either. That is a hard name. I'll give you.
Where'd you get the R from?
After the H?
No, but you said Fra.
Oh yeah, you're right. I said Fra. It should be Fakhretdinov. Okay, we both.
Yeah.
I need to stop teasing you on this. I'm pretty bad at pronunciation as well.
Exactly.
So, all right, we both failed on that. Nicolas Dalby. I am excited about this fight. When I said there was another fight that I'm pumped on, this is it. Rinat's looked really good, except in his last fight. In which it was a draw. And let me just bring that up against Dos Santos, who's a really good fighter, but he got a draw there. He's had he beat Brian Battle. Kevin Lee, but Kevin Lee may have been already washed by that point. He's got good power. I'm incredibly intrigued, and I'm just looking over his stats right now. 21-1. With one draw. I think he's an exciting fighter, and I look over at Nicolas Dalby. I mean, this guy's found the Ponce de Leon fountain of youth, right? He's 39 years old, and he's looking good, and he is a good fighter, but I'm shocked how good he's looked lately. And his last win at 39, it's against Gabriel Bonfim. Bonfim is legit. He's the best out of the Bonfim brothers. He is 100% legit, and he finished him, right? And let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4. He's on a 4-fight winning streak at this age. He's won 5 out of his last 6, and that his loss in that time was only against Tim Means. A really crafty vet. I absolutely love this fight. I think Rinat might be a little too much for him. And at some point, and I've been saying this probably for about 2 years, that Dalby, is going to fall off just simply due to age. It hasn't happened yet. He's really a good high volume striker. I think Rinat's just a little bit better than him. And I think, that will show itself in this fight. But I think this fight might even be the fight of the night. This might be an all-out war. But give me Rinat by 3rd round TKO.
I think I'm gonna go Rinat by decision.
Okay. Any insights to why? Is it the age or?
Yeah, the age, and I don't know. I think he's just a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I am honestly shocked that Dalby is 39 and has looked as good as he's looked, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. The only one that's came close at that age to fighting that well was Jared Cannonier's fight against Marvin Vettori. I believe he was 39 in that fight as well. And he just, or 38, 39, and he had like the most output he's ever had at that age. And he's looked good. I mean, he's obviously slowed down as we saw in his last fight recently, but I think you might see a little bit slippage in this fight, and I think Rinat is just a little bit better. All right, next up we have Montel Jackson versus unknown fighter. Milo, who are you taking?
I don't know.
I'm taking Montel Jackson. He's quick. I think it's going to be.
I think the unknown fighter is going to get it.
How's the unknown fighter going to win?
I don't know. He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
I need
he's gonna knock him out. He's gonna knock him out.
what round?
The first second of round 1.
The first second of round 1, unknown fighter is going to be a beast.
Yeah.
Don't know who it is, but it's going to fastest knockout in history.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, we have Kyung Ho Kang versus Muin Gafurov. This is an okay fight. I think Kang is just getting a little bit older. I believe he's 36. Now Gafurov is 0-2 in the UFC, but I think it's been against some solid competition. I think he's a little bit better than what he's showing, or what he's shown thus far. You combine that with the age of Kang and give me Gafurov by decision.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I'm gonna go Gafurov by decision.
Okay, we agree on that. Okay, so this is another pronunciation test, and I am, part of it is to tease you, but part of it is so I don't have to pronounce it. All right, who's next?
Exactly. Magomed Gadzhiyasulov versus Brendson Ribeiro.
Okay, that's way better than I thought. I'm just going to call him Magomed. He's 8-0. Ribeiro's 15-6. Ribeiro's pretty big, can hit hard. He's pretty lumbering and slow though. I don't know too much about Magomed. I've only seen him fight once, but I'm going to take him by decision. Who do you have?
I think I'm going to go Brendson by knockout.
Wow. Okay. What round?
Round 3. I think he's going to get beat up, but
you think he's going to catch him?
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick. That could definitely happen. I mean, he's got a little bit of pop. All right. Sedriques Dumas versus Denis Tiuliulin. I probably pronounced Tiuliulin's last name.
I think it's the change of the guy that's fighting.
Wait, what's that?
I think it's Abdu Azitar versus Denis Tiuliulin.
Oh, is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at an older one. Okay, so who do you have in that?
I think I'm gonna go Denis by decision.
Yeah, I think this fight's pretty bad. I mean, it's appropriate for a second, from the opener. I mean, it's a okay for a card filler. But I don't think either of them are really UFC level or will be around pretty much longer in the UFC. Give me Denis by decision. I agree with you. And then opening up, Long Zhao versus Chang Ho Lee. They're both coming off the road to the UFC. I really don't watch the road to the UFC. I'm going more on a guess. I've seen a couple highlights. That's about it. Give me Lee by decision. Milo, who do you have?
I'm just gonna go the opposite of you. I think I'm just gonna go Long by second round TKO.
All right. There you have it. Those are our picks and picks. That makes no sense. Picks and predictions for Whittaker versus Ikram. But don't go anywhere because we are going to talk about kicking it with Milo. That's our next section. All right. As most of you know, Milo, or as I mentioned, Milo is one of the top up-and-coming amateur surfers in the United States. This gives us an opportunity to learn a little more about him. He just cut his hair. Milo, was that a mistake or did you do the right thing? Why'd you chop all of your hair off?
I think I did the right thing. It's getting too hot.
It's getting too hot?
It's getting too hot. Yeah.
Does it go in your eyes? Like drop into a wave?
No. When my hair was long, it did. But now it's just slick,
No, that was funny because for those of you who don't know, which most of you don't know, I had long hair, actually down to here, way back.
I don't believe it. It never happened.
You really?
You were bald.
I was born bald and stayed bald?
Yeah. You just didn't grow hair.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it was funny. And one of the first things when I cut it off, I was 23 when I cut it off, and it was like the first thing because you'd surf and then you'd like flick it back, right, to get it out of your eyes, and that was the best thing. It was so freeing, and then you never kind of go back.
Yeah.
The other thing, you just got your driver's license. That is absolutely terrifying. How do you like driving?
It's so nice. I'm just gone all the time now. Just driving to go surf or yeah.
Just drive down and go surfing every day?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Stay in trouble?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right. So now Kook of the Week. Let's see. So for the Kook of the Week, I'm trying to remember the judge. This was actually 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to remember the judge. There was a judge that had 2 horrible scorecards, and for some reason I'm drawing a blank. So I will just go with a recent Kook of the Week. It's going to be Jason Herzog. Good ref, made a big mistake. He stopped that Jared Cannonier fight a little too early. Jared Cannonier was on skates. It looked like he was going to go out at any moment, but the shot that he actually stopped it was a pretty weak shot and probably should have let it go for another a couple more punches because he was still on his feet. He never went down. Jason Herzog, again, a really good ref, but for this week, Kook of the Week. Who do you have as the Kook of the Week?
I think I'm gonna go for the judge on UFC 302. That kept like messing up the fights, like the Costa versus Strickland one. Like one of the judges gave it a split decision. Yeah, so I couldn't believe that. And then the just that fight was like really crazy.
Yeah, and there was a fight earlier too. He did the same thing
earlier too. Yeah,
that was absurd because I mean, I had it. I think if I remember, I had it either 3-2 Strickland or 4-1 Strickland. There is no way it was 4-1 Costa. No way. That was absurd. All right, so that guy, he just overtook Herzog. Herzog, you're off the hook. You're no longer on the Kook of the Week. That guy's the Kook of the Week. Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he should never enter the UFC event again. That's all I have. Any last word?
Drop the mic.
We're out.